Some games are the kind you turn on just to take a quick look, and before you know it, the sun is rising. It's not about playing out of obligation. It's that feeling of just one more mission, just one more day in the game, just one more upgrade that hooks you and won't let go. Suddenly, your free time turns to dust, and you don't even know how it happened. Some games have that hypnotic power. They gradually suck your life away, but with pleasure. And that's exactly why this list exists, to celebrate the 20 games that steal time like no one else. I'm Jax, and if you're new here, welcome to the Play Hunters channel, where I bring you daily content so you don't miss any details of the gaming universe. And if you could subscribe to help me grow, I'd be really happy. From one gamer to another. Let's start our list with a game that seems simple, but quickly takes over your days. And before you know it, you're in your 5th spring taking care of your farm. Stardew Valley turns daily life into something hypnotic. Planting, fishing, exploring caves, making friends, everything follows a calm rhythm, but is incredibly addictive. The freedom to do everything at your own pace creates a constant sense of progress, where even small tasks have value. Each season brings new challenges, secrets, and events that keep the cycle interesting. The charm lies in the details. The village, with its unique inhabitants and their routines, becomes a place you get to know and care for. Relationships evolve through conversations, gifts, and decisions that truly impact what happens in the future. Exploring the mines adds a more dangerous side, with monsters, loot, and simple but satisfying combat systems. All of this is integrated so naturally that it's impossible to stop at just one more day. The variety of activities is absurd, and each one has enough depth to become a total focus for hours. Want to just plant? Go ahead. Want to be a miner? There's a path. Want to automate everything? You can do that too. The game respects your pace and rewards dedication with constant novelties. There's no defined end, and that's where the danger lies. You always think you can do just one more thing before turning it off. A game that perfectly understands how to turn routine into addiction, and does so with heart. In second place, a world that starts with a pickaxe and a handful of blocks, and ends with flying fortresses, absurd machines, and battles against colossal bosses. Terraria is a 2D universe where everything you do opens up a new possibility. Exploration is endless. Deep caves, mysterious biomes, and hidden treasures ensure that each playthrough is unique. Building is free and creative, allowing everything from simple houses to entire floating cities. And when you think you've seen it all, the game throws another challenge in your lap. The combat is chaotic and fun, with dozens of weapons and spells that fit very different styles. As you progress, enemies become more aggressive and the bosses turn into true events, requiring strategy, reflexes, and preparation. Nothing is handed to you. Everything must be discovered, tested, and built. That constant feeling of evolution is what hooks you. Each new item found or tool created opens up new doors, literally. And the best part? There's no right way to play. You can focus on building, exploring, or fighting. The game always responds with more content. The updates over the years added an absurd amount of novelties, keeping the community alive and active. Playing solo is a complete journey, but in a group, it turns into a cooperative madness filled with unexpected discoveries. It's the type of game that consumes afternoons, nights, and entire weekends, and you don't even see time passing. In third place, we have a stylized hell where death isn't the end, it's a fresh start. Hades grabs you fast with intense combat and a narrative that grows with every attempt. Each trip to the underworld is different, thanks to the varied powers of the gods and the roguelike structure that reinvents challenges with every new beginning. The gameplay is fluid, fast, and incredibly satisfying, with precise controls and builds that completely change the rhythm of the fight. Dying here doesn't frustrate, it motivates. What sets it apart is how much the game respects your time. Each failed attempt brings a new conversation, a revealed detail, a strengthened bond. The characters are expressive, funny, and full of personality, creating relationships that go beyond the action. Permanent upgrades help maintain the pace and make the sense of progress constant. Even when you fail, you feel like you're moving forward, whether in power or in story. And the repetition, which could be tiring, becomes fuel. The desire to test new combinations, find new dialogues, or just go further than before makes each return to the underworld worth it. The soundtrack matches the intensity of the fights and the melancholy of the pauses, creating a mood that swings between adrenaline and contemplation. It's the type of game you turn on for a quick playthrough, and before you know it, 3 hours have passed, and you want to try just one more time. In fourth place, we have a sea of possibilities that requires a cool head and sharp eyes. Slay the Spire mixes deck building with turn-based strategy in a way that's addictive. Every card chosen completely alters the playstyle, and the path to the top of the tower is never the same. Random enemies, relics with bizarre effects, and risky decisions along the way make each run unique. Here, the challenge isn't just winning. It's building the perfect engine in real time. What hooks you is the cycle of risk and reward. You start with a basic deck, but soon need to decide whether to choose safety or take a high-risk bet on a rare synergy. Each battle serves as a test for your deck building, and the bosses are obstacles that require precise game reading. You can't play on autopilot. Understanding what's coming and preparing your deck accordingly is key. And when everything clicks, the feeling is powerful. The variety of characters and styles further extends the game's longevity. Each one offers a completely different approach, forcing the player out of their comfort zone to test new ideas. Even when you lose, you're tempted to try again with a new strategy, a different combination, or a new relic. The learning curve is constant, and every mistake teaches you something new. It's a game that turns math into adrenaline and makes time vanish without warning. In fifth place, the frantic pace and stylized brutality come together in a game that never gives you a break, and still, you want more. Dead Cells is pure action in motion, with fast combat, procedurally generated levels, and a progression system that rewards both patience and boldness. With every new attempt, the map changes, enemies reposition, and available weapons force you to adapt your playstyle. Nothing is fixed, only the desire to go further than the last time. The combat is swift and demands reflexes. Rolls, quick strikes, traps, grenades, and special abilities create absurd possibilities for synergy. But you need to stay sharp, miss a parry, hesitate on a jump, and everything can end in seconds. The feeling of total control is what makes everything so addictive. You feel like it all depends on you. Permanent upgrades bring a sense of progression even after death, keeping the cycle always engaging. The pixel art visuals are vibrant and detailed, with smooth animations that give personality to even the smallest enemies. The soundtrack follows the fast pace, with compositions that fuel both the fury of battle and the moments of calm between fights. It's the type of game where just one more try turns into 3 hours of intense, sweaty, and satisfying gameplay. A hard-to-quit addiction, and an unforgettable one. In sixth place, a spiral of repetition, sacrifices, and planning transforms a retro aesthetic into a captivating strategy game. Loop Hero hooks you with a simple concept that slowly reveals a surprising complexity. The hero walks alone through a circuit, facing enemies while you decide what appears along the way. Each card placed on a map alters the world and the challenge, and finding the balance between difficulty and reward becomes a constant puzzle. It's management, improvisation, and survival in equal doses. The charm lies in setting a trap that you yourself have to overcome. You need to balance the resources you collect, the type of terrain that appears, and the right moment to end the expedition. Pushing too far can mean losing everything, but stopping too soon can delay progress. The classes completely change the approach, and the randomly generated equipment makes each run unpredictable. There's no right or wrong, just trial, error, and discovery. Despite the minimalist visual, the game delivers atmosphere and tension. The music repeats like a mantra, reinforcing the feeling of a forgotten world stuck in endless cycles. Progression between attempts brings permanent unlocks and structures that expand what you can do. It's a game that constantly makes you think, what if I try something different next time? And that next time comes quickly, because stopping is harder than it seems. In seventh place, chaos takes shape in endless waves of enemies, effects on screen, and choices that keep appearing. Vampire Survivors may seem simple at first, but hides a captivating system behind its minimalist aesthetic. You start with a single automatic attack, and minutes later, you're surrounded by explosions, spells, and monsters coming from every direction. The evolution is fast-paced, almost compulsive. Each level brings a new ability, and each run turns into a crazy construction of destructive builds. The limited control, you only move the character, and attacks happen on their own, shifts the focus to positioning, pattern reading, and evolution decisions. There's no room for distraction. Surviving is a constant dance between dodging, eliminating, and choosing upgrades at the speed of thought. The synergies between weapons and items create combinations that can turn into massacres or traps, depending on the right timing for evolution. Even after many hours, the game still finds ways to surprise. New characters, stages, secret challenges, and new combinations keep the pace constantly renewed. And the feeling of mastering the entire screen with attacks from all sides is incredibly satisfying. Vampire Survivors proves that you don't need modern graphics or complex controls to keep players hooked for hours. Just good ideas, sharp rhythm, and a captivating loop that makes you hit start again without a second thought. In eighth place, The Silence of a Forgotten Kingdom holds one of the most engaging and challenging games of recent times. Hollow Knight offers much more than its melancholic aesthetic suggests. It's a dense Metroidvania with a labyrinthine map, secrets in every corner, and combat that tests your patience and precision. Progression is organic. You don't get clear instructions, but you learn by exploring, facing challenges, and persisting. Each new ability not only allows you to advance, but also recontextualizes areas you've already visited. The combat seems simple on paper, but it demands real precision. Enemies have varied patterns, quick attacks, and severe punishments for any mistake. Bosses are memorable moments, challenging and often epic, requiring reading and mastery of your character. The exploration pace is deliberate, with well-distributed rewards and soundtracks that switch between melancholic and grand. Everything in the game has weight and meaning, even the moments of silence. The art direction is a spectacle in black, white, and occasional color. The environments range from toxic swamps to abandoned cities, each with its own atmosphere and stories told through the environment. There's no rush. The game invites you to waste time in it, to go off-route, discover alternate paths, and slowly absorb the grandiosity of the world. Hollow Knight doesn't hold your hand, but if you accept its challenge, it grabs you firmly and affectionately, for hours, days, and maybe even weeks. In ninth place, bullets fly, enemies fill the screen, and every new room is a test of reflexes and improvisation. Enter the Gungeon is a bullet hell hidden beneath a charismatic visual and full of humor. But behind it all is one of the most challenging and satisfying roguelikes you can play. Every weapon has a crazy mechanic, from rifles that shoot fish to explosive books, and learning to use them is part of the fun. The absurd variety of items and synergies makes each run a new, organized mess. The key lies in movement. Rolling at the right time, using obstacles smartly, and reading patterns are essential to surviving. The bosses are always different, creative, and brutal, forcing you to adapt in real time. The progression is steady. You feel you're improving with each attempt, even when dying early. The learning curve is demanding but fair, and the feeling of overcoming a difficult room is addictive. Beyond the sharp gameplay, the game oozes personality. The weapons are visual and mechanical jokes in themselves, the enemies have hilarious designs, and the dialogues play with cliches in an intelligent way. And even after many hours, there's always something new to discover. Secret characters, alternate modes, extra challenges. Enter the Gungeon not only steals your time, it makes you happily offer more and more hours. In 10th place, the world ends in silence, cold, and hunger, and the challenge is figuring out how long you can survive. Don't Starve is a ruthless survival game, where learning comes with death, and every attempt ends with more questions than answers. Nothing is explained, nothing is easy, and everything seems to want to kill you. The environment, monsters, even your own hunger. The dark, cartoonish visual hides a deep system, full of interconnected mechanics and unexpected dangers. Every decision matters. Choosing the wrong place to set up camp, forgetting to make a fire, or eating something strange can cost you days of progress. The day and night cycle completely changes the behavior of the world, forcing you to adapt at every moment. Crafting tools, cooking, planting, hunting, all of this needs to be done carefully and prioritized. It's not just about surviving, it's about understanding how the world works or dying trying. The sense of progress doesn't just come from unlocking things, but from better understanding the game's rules with each new attempt. And the more you explore, the more you discover the world hides bizarre creatures, parallel dimensions, and even secrets that defy logic. It's the kind of game that frustrates you, yes, but also challenges you like few others. And when you finally make it through winter, set up a stable base, or defeat a rare boss, the reward is intense. Don't Starve doesn't forgive, but it also doesn't let go easily. In 11th place, a game about climbing a mountain transforms into a journey of courage, self-discovery, and persistence. Celeste combines high-precision platforming with an emotional narrative that catches you by surprise. The controls are simple, jump, dash, grab, but what the game does with them is absolutely genius. Each level is a new test of skill and reasoning, with obstacles placed almost choreographically. Every screen you conquer makes you feel like you've achieved something real. The pace is intense, but fair. The game kills you hundreds of times, and teaches you something with each one. The respawn is instant, and the design encourages trial and error without punitive consequences. The challenge is constant, but the difficulty curve is so well crafted that frustration turns into motivation. It's not just about reaching the top of the mountain. It's about learning not to give up, even when everything seems impossible. The soundtrack and visual style perfectly complement the mood of the journey. The pixel art graphics are minimalist, but full of expression, and the music carries the more intense moments with a rare sensitivity. And when the game tackles themes like anxiety, fear, and personal overcoming, it does so with delicacy and truth. Celeste is a hard game, yes, but it's also kind, and when it ends, you feel like you've grown with it. In 12th place, an alien storm falls from the sky, turning every run into a desperate survival race. Risk of Rain 2 takes the concept of the original 2D game and expands it with full force into a 3D world, where time is your greatest enemy. The longer you take, the stronger the enemies become, and there's no turning back. The tension rises minute by minute, forcing quick decisions and creating matches that escalate from calm to madness in seconds. The combat is frantic and rewarding. Each character has unique abilities that completely change the way you play. The variety of items is absurd, and their synergies create unexpected combinations, the kind that turn you into a machine of destruction or an easy target. The map fills with enemies, visual effects, and pure chaos, and the challenge is to stay standing while trying to find the portal to the next level. Even though it repeats the same structure each run, the game reinvents itself with randomness and how the player interacts with the system. No two runs are the same. You start fragile, slow, and before you know it, you're making giant jumps, exploding everything around you, and fighting bosses the size of buildings. Risk of Rain 2 is unpredictable, electrifying, and highly addictive. The kind of game you say you'll play for just 20 minutes, and when you check the clock, 2 hours have passed. In 13th place, darkness takes over not only the scenery but the souls of the characters, and of the player too. Darkest Dungeon is a tactical RPG that turns every decision into a weight. Here, the real enemy isn't just the grotesque monsters and infested corridors, but the stress, fear, and madness of the heroes. Each expedition is a dive into corrupted places, where victory always comes at a high price. And surviving doesn't mean coming out unscathed. The combat is turn-based but brutal. A poorly thought-out choice, a failed healing attempt, or an unexpected critical hit can collapse your entire strategy. The heroes accumulate trauma, develop quirks and addictions that affect their actions. Managing sanity is just as important as equipping good weapons. The decisions outside the battlefield are as tense as those within it. The game doesn't forgive mistakes, and it doesn't apologize for it. The art, sound, and narration work together to create an oppressive and unique atmosphere. Each new dungeon, each locked chest, or activated trap reinforces the sense of decay and despair. Even after hours of play, you still hesitate before entering a dark corridor. And when a veteran hero dies because of a rash decision, it's not just a mechanical loss. It feels almost personal. Darkest Dungeon doesn't just steal your time. It rips away your peace. And yet you come back. You always come back. In 14th place, building a factory has never felt so engaging and so impossible to put down. Factorio starts with a simple generator and a few conveyor belts, but soon turns into a massive web of automated production that completely consumes your attention. The goal is clear: build a spaceship to leave the planet. But between you and that goal are thousands of decisions about logistics, efficiency, and defense against local creatures. With every upgrade, new challenges arise, and you feel like there's always more to optimize. The game rewards planning and logical thinking. Every conveyor belt needs to be in the right place. Every machine connected as efficiently as possible. Every resource mined with the least waste. When everything flows, it's hypnotic, like watching a giant gear working perfectly. But when something breaks, chaos ensues, and finding the point of failure becomes an addictive puzzle. Time simply evaporates as you adjust, and adjust, and adjust once more. There's no narrative, cutscenes, or characters. Just you, your factory, and the desire to make everything work better. The satisfaction comes from the order you impose on chaos, from how small decisions turn into big solutions. And when you finally automate something you once did manually, it's like discovering fire all over again. Factorio doesn't trap you with action or drama. It traps you with logic, obsession, and the delicious feeling of watching everything work as you planned. Or almost. In 15th place, a game about managing colonies on a hostile planet gradually turns into a simulator for absurd stories. RimWorld gives you a group of survivors and a piece of land. The rest, you discover over time. There are no fixed goals other than try to keep everyone alive. But the procedural storytelling system creates such complex and unpredictable situations that each playthrough becomes its own saga. And when something goes wrong, and it will, it's always in a surprising way. You manage everything: farming, building, combat, mental health, relationships between colonists, and even the decoration of rooms. Each character has unique traits, random backstories, and desires that influence how they act. A hunter might go into an existential crisis because his favorite food ran out. An artist might fall in love with a cannibal. A pack of angry animals might attack in the middle of surgery. There's no boredom, only new problems. And even when everything seems to be going well, you feel like something's about to go wrong. A solar flare, a plague, an invasion. Anything can turn the game upside down. But it's exactly that which makes RimWorld so addictive. You're not just playing, You're telling stories, improvising solutions, and watching a survival drama that never repeats itself. It's the kind of game you turn on for a quick look, and 5 hours later, you're still dealing with a nervous breakdown of someone who saw a dead cat. In 16th place, infernal chaos meets endless loot in a game that turned repetition into an art form. Diablo III is pure action, with dozens of enemies exploding on screen, visual effects scattered everywhere, and a progression that never slows down. From the first few minutes, you're collecting items, unlocking skills, and blowing up monsters at a constant pace. It's like a hypnotic cycle. Enter a dungeon, destroy everything, come back with a full inventory, upgrade the character, and start all over again, but stronger. The gameplay is fluid and responsive, designed to keep you constantly on the move. The abilities have real impact, and creating specific builds, testing equipment combinations, and exploring the possibilities of each class becomes part of the addiction. The adventure mode, with random contracts and rifts, turns the endgame into an optimization marathon. It's a game that respects your time while inviting you to spend every available second on it. Even without an open world full of distractions, Diablo III holds you with focus and intensity. Everything revolves around combat, efficiency, and the promise of a legendary drop just around the corner. And when you finally find the item you've been searching for, the sense of reward is absurd. A game that devours you by the edges, one click at a time. And when you realize it, your mouse is worn out and the clock is accusing you. In 17th place, monster hunting becomes a lifestyle and one of the most rewarding and deep cooperative games out there. Monster Hunter World drops you into a vibrant ecosystem, where each creature has its own behavior, specific habitat, and unique attack patterns. It's not just about hitting things. You need to study, track, prepare, and choose the right moment to strike. Each monster you defeat turns into armor, weapons, or resources that prepare you for an even greater challenge. And that cycle is where the addiction lies. The combat requires precision and patience. With several completely different weapons, each player finds their style, whether it's with colossal swords, technical bows, or brutal hammers. Customization goes beyond appearance. It defines your approach, strategy, and even your role within a team. And if playing solo is intense, hunting in groups adds coordination, chaos, and plenty of celebrations when the beast falls. Nothing compares to the feeling of defeating an enemy that seemed impossible half an hour ago. The areas are vast, full of details and secrets. The monsters don't wait for you. They fight each other, run away, eat, and react to the environment. You're not in a battlefield. You're in a food chain where you need to carve out your place. And the more you play, the more you want to test new weapons, new builds, and new monsters. Monster Hunter doesn't trap you with haste. It wins you over with consistency. And you stay because the next hunt always promises something better. In 18th place, a vast, cold, and immersive world still sets the pace for open-world games even many years later. Skyrim is the type of game where you start by delivering a letter, and 3 hours later, you're leading a secret guild, hunting dragons, or stuck in a cave you didn't even know existed. The map is full of stories that don't wait for you. They just happen, and if you're there, great. If not, oh well. And that's what makes everything so alive and unpredictable. The freedom is total. Want to follow the main quest? You can. Want to spend 40 hours just exploring enchanting items and stealing chickens? You can do that too. The progression system allows you to shape your character however you want, whether with devastating spells, silent arrows, or a well-placed dagger. Every choice opens new possibilities, and even the smallest decisions can lead to unexpected consequences, generating unique stories with each journey. Nothing is imposed, you decide what matters. Villages remember what you've done, factions vie for your loyalty, and every cave or ruin holds something hidden, waiting to be discovered. The soundtracks, the atmosphere, and even the books scattered around the world contribute to a rare immersion. The feeling of walking through a place that seems to exist beyond you turns exploration into something almost meditative. Skyrim doesn't trap you out of obligation. It traps you because its world seems endless. In 19th place, style, personality, and depth come together in one of the most striking and immersive RPGs in recent times. Persona 5 Royal puts you in the shoes of a Japanese student, splitting your time between school, friendships, romance, and, of course, mental battles and parallel realities. The cycle of days, action planning, and the weight of each choice create an addictive rhythm, where every decision counts. Everything is stylized to the extreme, with animated menus, a striking soundtrack, and visuals that make even the simplest tasks a pleasure to execute. The turn-based battles are classic in structure, but modern in execution. Exploring palaces, understanding enemies, finding weaknesses, and negotiating with shadows creates a delicious strategic layer. Outside of battles, The social links system lets you develop relationships with dozens of characters, unlocking bonuses that directly affect battle performance and overall progression. The evolution is constant, and the game keeps presenting novelties throughout the dozens or hundreds of hours of play. More than an RPG, it's a story about rebellion, identity, and social pressure. Each character has their own arc, with personal conflicts that resonate with real-world themes, and this gives emotional weight to everything that happens. The involvement grows to the point where you care about the in-game calendar as if it were your own schedule. Persona 5 Royal doesn't just steal your time. It makes you want to reorganize your real life just to spend a few more hours with your group of Phantom Thieves. In 20th place, the Old West transforms into a stage for deep stories, unforgettable landscapes, and quiet choices that shape the fate of an outlaw. Red Dead Redemption 2 doesn't rush. It walks, observes, breathes, and in this rhythm, invites you to lose yourself in a world that seems to exist with or without you. Everything is organic. The casual dialogues, random encounters, and camps that feel like an improvised family. It's a game where the quiet moments matter as much as the gunfights. The realism is intentional. From the time it takes to bandage a wound to the way your horse behaves, depending on how it's treated, every detail reinforces the immersion. The combat is heavy, dirty, and brutal, and the main missions are led with cinematic direction. But it's in the side activities, hunting, fishing, helping a stranger on the road, that the game shows its true soul. Nothing is just decoration. The narrative doesn't rely just on twists, but on emotional development. You feel the weight of the characters' pasts, the scars they carry, the fears they hide. The journey builds slowly, with rare care in the dialogues, expressions, and even silence. Red Dead Redemption 2 steals your time, not with urgency, but with depth. It's a game that demands total dedication and rewards with one of the most memorable experiences video games have ever offered. And tell us, which game completely hooked you and drained all your free hours? The last game I felt that way about was Red Dead. Even after finishing it, I just kept walking around the map, fishing or interacting with NPCs. If you can, please subscribe to the channel to help me grow and never wonder what to play again. I've left 2 videos in the card, one I personally selected for you and another that YouTube picked. Just click on one of them to watch. A big hug, happy gaming, and see you tomorrow.